I read this and my heart hurts. I don't even know what else to say. Israeli forces physically assaulted and strangled a 14-year-old Palestinian child that they held captive for nearly a day and a half. And he recalls every detail of what they did to him. And I need you to pay attention. This is 14-year-old Majid. He lives in the West Bank with his family. One day, while him and his friend were outside, an Israeli tank approached and him and his friend tried to run away. His friend was able to get away. He was captured. He recalls 10 Israeli soldiers exiting the vehicle and pointing guns at him and started physically assaulting him as soon as they got out of the vehicle. He says that he was assaulted for 30 minutes. He was crying and screaming and he was in pain. After they beat him for 30 minutes, they handcuffed him, zip-tied his hands, and threw him in the back of a military vehicle, where 2 soldiers continued to assault him in the back of the vehicle for 10 more minutes. He recalls one of the soldiers stepping on his mouth while repeatedly stomping on his chest. After he was taken out of the vehicle, he remembers another soldier repeatedly assaulting him with the back of his rifle in his chest, his head, and his waist while assaulting him. He remembers begging the soldier to stop hitting him, but that did not help. The soldier wrapped his hand around his neck, pressed with all of his strength, and said to Majid in Arabic that I will kill you by strangulations. Majid passed out and he woke up unconscious in a room with another soldier, a dog, and a cat. After he woke up, he was scared and he started screaming, and then the cat proceeded to start scratching him, and then the soldier said to him in Arabic that he will let his dog eat him. Israeli forces continued to torture him until 2 a.m. by slamming his head against the wall several times, causing him to collapse, and they denied him any water. After sustaining multiple beatings at this point, they transported him to an interrogation room where they continued to interrogate him and forced him to sign a document stating that he was throwing rocks at the military vehicle. But after they forced that confession out of him, they tried to transport him to 2 different prisons, but because the prisons were overcrowded, they brought him back to the detention center and left him outside from 7 a.m. to 12 noon in the hot sun to torture him some more. And then they released him, and he was so exhausted and tortured to the point where he could physically not stand, and he remained lying on the ground where a Palestinian vehicle pulled over, drove him to his village, and transported him to a hospital. This is one of the many stories of what Palestinian children are going through at the hands of the Israeli government. From January 1st, 2016 to December 31st, 2023, there have been documented cases of over 838 cases of Palestinian children being tortured by the Israeli terrorist organization. They tortured children and handcuffed them, blindfold them, strip them naked, and deny them any access to food and water during their interrogation, all for simple things as either throwing rocks or fabricating evidence against them to hold them in detention. Majid's story is one of hundreds of Palestinians that have been tortured at the hands of the Israeli government. It doesn't matter whether you're a woman, a child, a man, they don't care. As long as you identify as a Palestinian person, they will torture you if they do not kill you.